Namaste, beautiful souls. It's Dr. Dani. Let me know if you can hear me out there. What's today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Yay. I hope you guys are having as magical a day as I am. Of course, I look at every day as magical, you guys. This is Dr. Dani, physician astrologer. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to get started here. I have a hodgepodge of things for you today. First thing I wanted to do was go through some of the emails that I've gotten and answer some of your questions. Sometimes it's easier just to get into it on the video rather than type out a big long thing. So I'll share my thoughts on some of your questions. Then I wanted to one of the topics, a conversation will actually be a larger topic that I did not tell anybody about. We're going to talk about Lilith today, Black Moon Lilith and Asteroid Lilith. And I'm going to tell you a story. It's basically the underside of the Mars Awaken the Sleeping Warrior story. So I hope you guys will find it interesting. It's dark, it's feminine, it's awesome. So I'm going to share some slides with you and tell you a little story about that. And then I thought we would look at the new moon energy. This is coming very early on the 1st of December for my time zone. So like right before 1 a.m. So if you are in a time zone earlier than me, it will probably be on the 30th of November. But we'll look at that chart. And what we're going to do with this energy is get a theme for the coming month. So we'll get an idea of how this lunation is going to go for us. Then I'm going to show you a really cool trick that you will amaze all your friends at parties. But seriously, though, it's a nice trick to be able to quickly read something for someone. So, for example, if you have a friend and they know their ascendant, and let's pretend everybody's doing constellational astrology right now, but they know their ascendant and they say, my ascendant is Leo. Well, then you know exactly where this Antares new moon is going to be. So I'm going to teach you that. And then, so what I want you guys to do is go to my free chart link. I'm going to put this up for you guys. I'm using my little scroll thing here. Go there and get your chart and look at the left side of the chart. And that will be the rising sign. So that's your ascendant. So whatever constellation is on the left side of the chart, that's your ascendant. Put that in the back of your brain. You can type it in the chat if you want to. So when we get to that, you know exactly what we're talking about. All right. Cool. How's everybody doing? Who do we have today? Let's see. We have Lori here, of course. Thank you so much for coming, Lori, and hanging out in the chat with me. And then Miss Diana Allen, my beautiful friend in Mexico. And Magician in Alberta, Canada. Wow, we've got people all over the place here. Lori's getting ready to go camping in 30-degree weather. That sounds terrible to me. Darius is here. Hello, hello. Thanks for coming. Oh, and Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Brenda has a Facebook group, too. She's a 13-sign astrologer. Aushki Brower is here. Thank you for the Lilith. It's in my Ophiuchus. Yeah, we're going to talk about her. John Doe is here. Hello, hello. All right, cool. Awesome. How many is that? That's 15 already. Wow. Amazing. So actually, I wanted to start off this talk a little bit snarky because I got some show notes from my mom and my husband about my lamp behind me. And my mom she was trying to figure out how to do the closed captioning, and she looked at one of my previous videos and she goes, oh my God, that lamp has to go. And I was like, wait, what? My lamp? My beautiful color changing lamp? That's like my thing. So before I put the camera on, I turned it off and I looked at myself. So I'm going to turn this off. I want you guys to see what this looks like and tell me if you like that better. I don't know. It feels sort of cold to me. I feel like that light behind me just warms up the energy. So if you guys like the lamp, please give me a thumbs up because I love my lamp. I love lamp. So I'm going to turn it back on. Oh my gosh. And then what I was going to say after that was 2 phrases that I want you guys to put in your brains and think about. Okay. Because a lot of people call me Miss Pollyanna. They think I'm too much of an optimist. I always look at the bright side. In fact, I'm always optimistic. I feel like the next big thing is always right around the corner. And it usually is, maybe not always in the way that I thought it was going to be, but it usually is. And you would be surprised the difficult, dark work it takes to get to a place like that. And so I wanted to just leave you guys with two phrases. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay? I don't know, and I don't care. Now say it any way you want, but whenever you hear those phrases, they sound kind of awful and mean and negative, don't they? What if I told you that there's nothing wrong with those phrases? They're not dark, they're not evil, and they're actually your keys to your freedom. I don't know, and I don't care. Just try it out for a day. Whenever somebody comes at you with something, say those things right off the bat. I don't know, and I don't care. And see how things change for you. What I think will happen is that the things that you really shouldn't be paying attention to, other people's dramas, other people's issues, you all of a sudden have more time to create, to self-reflect, to connect with spirit, to smile and stop and smell the roses, and really just wonder in the beauty of creation around you, because you are not worried about someone else's stuff. So now I know that sounds cold. I know we're supposed to be, compassionate, and there is room for that. There is compassion in there, but it's not identification. Okay. So when something comes to you and it is not yours, if you say the words, I don't know, and I don't care, you're actually an optimist, even though you sound like someone who's being negative and nihilistic. Because you can't know true bliss and happiness until you can find the center between that which irks you and that which creates bliss for you, right? The fine line between boredom and contentment is acceptance. And when you say, I don't know and I don't care, number one, you're disconnecting yourself from something that isn't yours. And then number two, you're opening yourself up for more that is you, so that you can truly and fully express yourself. So this episode is basically all about secrets revealed. Like, I'm just kind of giving you hints and tips and tricks for getting through the holy days, the holidays. In fact, I had an interesting little debate with my mother and my husband right before this talk about the holy days. And I guess in my last presentation, I kind of sounded a little bit negative about this season, but it's not. It just comes with a lot of stress. And the way that you relieve your stress with all things, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but it's literally saying, I don't know and I don't care. Just try it. So let's see what you guys think about my lamp. Let's see. Ooh, this computer wants to restart. Let's remind tomorrow. There we go. Fellow traveler says, sorry, Mom, I like the lamp. Darius says, time for a lava lamp. Actually, I do have one. It's over here, and it is not plugged in at the moment. And so next time I will whip that out. Let's see. Diana likes the lamp. Brenda loves the lamp. See, guys? See, Mom? See, husband? People love the lamps. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I got some thumbs up. I think we overwhelmingly like the lamp. I think it adds a nice soft touch to my videos. When you turn that off, it's not very interesting. It's more just kind of cold and I don't know. So we're leaving the lamp. All right, so we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about Lilith, which I did not advertise about. So you guys will get a nice little treat. We're gonna really feel into the energy of Lilith. And then, so make sure you get your free chart if you don't know where your ascendant is. And if you're tropical, you can play along too, but you have to, we'll have to tell you what degrees to look for on your chart to match. So I'm not excluding you guys. It's just we don't do tropical here. We do constellational astrology. I have a couple of announcements too before we get going, guys. I'm booking for readings and services for December. So if y'all want to get a reading, it's a great time to get a reading. Whenever Mercury's in retrograde, I am on fire. Like, my intuitive hits are amazing. They're clear. I'm able to articulate it a lot better. So if you have not gotten a reading from me and you want one, someone emailed me and they asked me which reading was it appropriate for. And this discount is for all of the readings. So if you go to my website, drdani.com, You just scroll down a little bit, all the readings are there. So you can get a natal chart reading, you can book a consult, you can do a Venus forecast, you can do the purpose and prosperity reading, you can do a Pluto alchemy reading, which has a meditation with it. So there's all those readings are there and available for you, as well as the quarterly constellational report. So if y'all want to get a reading, do that. Thank you 13 is the code to get 13% off. Okay. The other announcement, that Holly Hall interview that I did last week. If you guys, I don't know if everybody knows about that, but I did a recorded interview with Holly Hall last week, and she regretfully informed me that she cannot find that recording. So I'm fine with that, actually, because I'm going to re-record it probably next week or the week after, because there's some big things coming, and I want to talk about that with her, with what I'm doing in with drdani.com and with the learning programs that I have in the courses. So I'm bursting at the seams. I can't wait to officially announce it. Those of you that are subscribed to my website will get like a teaser email about it, and those of you in the Fellowship of 13 Signs will also get a teaser email about it on Monday. About what's coming. And then the official announcement will be on Friday of next week. And then finally, probably Saturday, I am going to do a live lecture presentation on the healer's journey. So we often talk about the hero's journey in astrology. We start at Aries, we go counterclockwise, and we describe the path of the human soul. Well, there's a healer's journey that we can use with the zodiac, and it's a wounded healer's journey. It's like the soul that comes down here is veiled to the true reality, wakes up through catalysts that, you know, make you realize what those wounds are and to heal from them, and then the awakening that we go through. So I'm going to describe that path for you. I have some beautiful images. ChatGPT has been hooking me up with some amazing, beautiful images that I want to share with you. So those are the things. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh yeah, next Saturday, I'm going to be in Houston. I'm going to the Archaics meetup. I'm super excited. We're going to learn about Jason's Ophis software. So if any of you are going, I'll see you there. All right, let's see. D Divine 99 is here. Greetings, sending love and light in the purest form. Thank you so much. Received with gratitude, and back at you times 10. I really do love these lives, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Check out all my stuff. If you're interested in working with me, y'all know where to go. All right, let's get into this. I wanted to just shout out a colleague of mine. I'll share my screen. He did a very nice overview of the entire next month. He does this every month, actually. It's One Sky Astrology. So once a month, you'll go here, and he just breaks it down for you the entire month. And they're actually really quite good, quite thoughtful, quite philosophical, and very detailed. So I would check that out. He talks about the fixed stars. He'll give you a little blurb from Brady, who is our modern Ptolemy for the fixed stars. And then he'll go and riff on his own divine channeling. And so I call him our new age Ptolemy. So definitely check this video just dropped a few days ago. So do check that out. We're going to go into the day of the new moon as well, though, with the actual chart. So let's look at the sky. All right. So this is going to be December 1st of 2024. Shortly after midnight, you see sun and moon conjunct. Now they are conjunct the star Antares. So here's what's so somewhat sinister and creepy about tropical astrology is that they will say to you that we have a sun and moon conjunct Antares in the sign of Sagittarius. That's right, guys. They are saying that the sun and moon are in the sign of Sagittarius, which is actually right here. Because if they put stars on their chart, they will put Antares in Sagittarius' sign. This, my friends, is what the actual sky looks like. The star Antares is in the constellation of Scorpio, okay? And the signs that we have are now derivations of these original constellations. This is where the first astrology started, in the sky. And that's where we're bringing it back to. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're analyzing this energy for this particular lunar cycle. Now, this lunar cycle, any lunar cycle that is brand new, a new moon, is usually sun conjunct moon. So the moon is between sun and earth. And when we have this alignment, this is the beginning of a new cycle, the beginning of a new emotional cycle. So every time the moon moves around the zodiac and has a new moon, it will flavor whatever constellation it's in, is going to flavor the entire month. So as the moon moves forward and it swells and it waxes into the first quarter and then into the full moon, we get the flavor of Scorpio energy, even though it's moving through other constellations. So this is where it starts. This is what the moon goes through. It's a quick 29-day cycle. We go from new moon to new moon. So this is where it's at. So in the next few days, a couple days before and a couple days after the new moon, is a time to go inward, is a time to set intentions. And right now, we also have Mercury retrograde right here in the heart of Ophiuchus and Scorpio. And if you look a couple videos ago, I did an entire deep dive on Mercury retrograde, the position of the planet, the speed of the planet, where it is, how you can work with it. And so that's why when I open up this video, I told you guys when I do readings right now, Mercury is so intense. It's moving towards us at a tremendous speed and closer and closer and closer. And Mercury is a transmitter. Its waves are just much more intense than they would be if Mercury was on the other side of the sun. So that's what I love about Mercury retrograde. Also, too, you really want to practice mindfulness during Mercury retrograde. That's your key. If you're not into the thoughts become things yet, just practice watching what you're thinking. Don't let the thoughts escape you or go into any weird emotional reaction or any kind of strange, violent fantasy, because a lot of times Mercury will bring you exactly what you're wishing for right now, whether you want it or not. So try to stay high vibe. Try to stay as positive as possible. If you can't, just remember the mantra, I don't know and I don't care. But mindfulness also helps you remember what it is you're doing. So if you have a routine that you're doing every single day, you need to actually watch what you're doing while Mercury's in retrograde. Don't just brush your teeth and put it, because your keys will be missing. The thing that you needed to put in your car will be somewhere else. You'll forget that you wanted to drop something off. I mean, it'll just be crazy because it's so intense. So all of this is together right here in this space. So we've got Mercury retrograde most of this lunation. So as that moon swells and the emotions get heightened, then we're also going to have the confusion of the intense mental activity. All right. And then here, I'm going to back this up a few hours only because it is very hard to manipulate this with, oh my goodness. Let's put this back in. There we go. Okay. So then we have Venus in Sagittarius. We have Saturn in Aquarius. We have Pluto right here between Sagittarius and Capricorn, and Venus is close enough now by the time we get to this new moon where they're within an orb of conjunction with each other. Venus passes Pluto every year. But when you get these two together, it's a powerful creation. Venus has just gone through sort of a Plutonian event crossing the galactic center earlier this month. So similar themes with Pluto. So hopefully there's a lot of letting go with Pluto, galactic center, Scorpio, Ophiuchus energy. And so as Venus passes this just freshly through Sagittarius, it shouldn't be too traumatic for your creative energy. I mean, really, after going through the galactic center, Pluto's kind of like, hey, how's it going? Instead of, that rising of the Phoenix transformative energy. I feel like this is a good conjunction, especially after everything Venus has been through already. So as we move across the sky, we get to the other side where we have the other end of the galactic Milky Way. We've got Gemini and Taurus and Aruga and Orion. And you see Jupiter right here in retrograde. Mars will go retrograde in a few days during this cycle, and Neptune will go direct in this cycle as well. And then you've also got Uranus right here next to the Pleiades. So that is our sky, basically. Let me Let me see what you guys are talking about. See if anything is happening. We've got 22. Let's see. All right. Look up says, I was thinking about this. My husband don't care. My daughter usually doesn't call and I care, but then I'm upset. Yeah, when you care, you get upset. When you don't know and you don't care, you're not going to get upset. You're not going to be attached. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are things you do have to care about, but you don't have to like overly be too attached to things, especially right now, especially in the burn path where the sun is. Just kind of letting things go is really the best way, I think, to manage these intense energies. So let's see. Magician says, whoop, whoop for the Archaics meetup. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Are you going, Magician? Yeah, I'm excited to learn about this software. It's my theory that Jason's actually an astrologer. He just doesn't know it. Because that's what astrologers do. They look back at historic events and then they match up what the sky was doing. And that's what he's done. And he basically knows the historical writings on it already. So he's done a lot of the work of what most of us do. He just needs to start calculating the events and what might happen, which is what we're doing with the sky. And I think he's doing it with Ophis. So I want to get into that software and see if I can see if there's any correlations between astrological events. So cool. All right. So that's the sky. I hope you guys are checking out Venus in the evening. She's super beautiful right now. The evening star. It's just, I love it. Our backyard faces west, so we get a gorgeous sunset every night, and Venus is right there. Fellow traveler says, I agree. JB is a closet astrologer. All right. You wouldn't hear it from him, though. Oh, my goodness. All right. So let me tell you a story about our solar system. And this is not my story. I did not come up with it. This is sort of the collective's channeled downloads. I mean, you can get this from a lot of different sources, a lot of people that have, gone inward or tapped into source and have gotten this information. But what we do know is that there is an asteroid belt right here in our solar system between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. You can't see it on this particular graphic, but I mean, if you look at the relative sizes of these distant orbits, it's almost as if there should be something right here. Just seems like it would make sense. And there is something odd mathematically about Earth's particular orbit, as well as the rotation velocities of our inner planets. Something catastrophic happened here a long time ago. So a lot of times scientists will theorize when they've got present evidence of what might have happened for it to get that way. And we have, billions of asteroids just right here hanging out between Mars and Jupiter. And so the idea was that there was this planet that was there, and something came into our solar system and caused a catastrophic either collision of worlds or a destabilization of somebody's orbit, and this planet ended up being destroyed. Sort of the cosmological mythology, the cosmological trauma that I'm sensing that happened was that this place, this world, I think a lot of people call it Tiamat, was this beautiful paradise world, a divine feminine world with no moon, a very steady sun. They didn't have seasons. It was always nice outside. Everything was plenty. And it was dominated by feminine energy. It was a matriarchal type of society. In other words, women didn't ovulate monthly. They didn't have pain with their birth. They could decide whether they wanted to get pregnant or not. It was like they had control over their own fertility and their own cycles within their bodies. And then we had this solar system cataclysm, this crazy catastrophic events that literally busted that planet into shards, into pieces. And those shards, those asteroids, and I would say also too, maybe some of those trans-Neptunian objects are all named after divine feminine archetypes. And I think that's very interesting because, when we think of Venus as the divine feminine archetype of our basic 7 planets, what we're noticing in the current cosmological age, and as we move forward, we're discovering more and more of these bodies that are, the same size or larger than Pluto or our moon. And so why don't they have just as much important. And so they're given these God names, which are most of them divine feminine archetypes. And so it just leads, the next conclusion I come to when I think about all of this is that they're representing this fractured, fractalized, shattered divine feminine energy. Think of the poor fractured soul with all these just pieces out there in the ether, in the cosmos, little ice worlds, dead, no fire, no heat, no passion. And they're all scattered about. And we're as a collective gaining a greater awareness of them one by one. So we're gaining the awareness of the feminine energy piece by piece, and each one has a certain aspect that is unique to divine feminine energy. So my whole cosmological concept behind the Mars Awaken the Sleeping Warrior class that we did a couple weeks ago was to bring this story to the front about this divine feminine planet that underwent a cosmic trauma. We as a result ended up with a sacred masculine that had no direction, because Mars really literally he's the divine, or the sacred masculine archetype achieves enlightenment by enacting the will of the creator. And for the astrology I do, Venus is that light of creation for us. It's that spark of inspiration that allows us to effortlessly create. And when Mars is balanced, it's there for us to create quickly, fast, with enthusiasm, with a fire. And so as this divine feminine awareness begins to bubble up, to surface up, then we get the sleeping warrior awakening. So it's not just the divine feminine that's been sort of suppressed and fractured and scattered. It's Mars, the sleeping warrior, with no inspiration, no purpose, no divine mission, so to speak. Okay. And so as we gain awareness of these planetoids, of these asteroid belt objects, the two that I use in my chart, and I stop there, is Lilith and Black Moon Lilith. And Lilith is the only asteroid, and Black Moon Lilith is a point of Black Moon or asteroid Lilith's orbit. So asteroid Lilith lives out here between Mars and Jupiter. She takes 4 years to orbit, and she's got an elliptical orbit. So imagine this is not quite a perfect circle. So she's a little wobbly. And the point at which she rotates, or which she orbits, where she is farther away from the sun than when she's closer to the sun, is called the apogee point. So when she's really far away from the sun in the elliptical orbit, it's the apogee point. And when she's really close to the sun, it's the perigee point. The apogee point also slowly processes around the solar system. It takes about 8 years for it to do that. Okay, so that point is called Black Moon Lilith. So let's dive into some of these archetypes and see what they feel like. So this is the progenitor planet, the pre-Earth Tiamat, Maldek, whatever Brenda, you were right that I think I've heard Maldek before. I think Maldek was the like the pre-Mars planet. At any rate, who knows? I mean, I wasn't there, but I like this story. I like this cosmological mythology. It explains a lot about our current collective psyche and what we all sort of go through and deal with and grapple with. So imagine this planet, this place. It's divine feminine, steady sun, no moon, the divine feminine freely expressed. There's nothing dark or scary or terrible about it. This is literally paradise. And then along comes this destruction, this destructive force that scatters and fractalizes that planet, that home world, that the essence, the spirit of that planet is now in shards and scattered throughout the solar system. It could have been the Phoenix or Nemesis X or Nibiru. It could have been a nuclear explosion. Who knows? The way it could have manifested. I mean, infinite possibilities, but you get the picture. And so then we get what's left is this divine spark of feminine creation and the instinctual energy of our sacred masculine, which is protection, which is Saturn. Let's build up and protect and care for and viciously protect this spark, This is the only place that the masculine could go once the divine feminine was shattered across the solar system. So this is what we get. We get this future. We get this sterile technological society with no spark of creation, innovation, invention, the stuff that makes you laugh, the stuff that makes you feel good, all those divine feminine qualities. If we were to go to the extreme of this cosmic trauma, because this is what you get. You get Black Moon Lilith. You get this suppressed, untamed, wild, divine feminine energy, this creation energy. This is the primordial mother that births creation from herself. There's no seed here. It's literally just creation creating herself. And it's angry because it's been destroyed. It's been traumatized. It's been burned. It's been scattered. So it's very potentially a source of our trauma, of our wounds, especially in very, very vulnerable, painful situations. That's what Black Moon Lilith can represent. Now, if you've got access to this energy without the trauma, without the wounding, then you also have access to some very powerful, creative, and destructive energy that one might think is evil or wicked right off the bat. It's the source of chaos magic. It's not emotional. It knows its power. It's definitely a far cry from this. But this is what happens when we have a cosmic trauma like this and we go from one extreme to the other. So however this manifests for you as pain and trauma or the sexy seductress, this is the sort of the energy of the Black Moon Lilith. It is not reasonable. It is not to be reasoned with. It will burn you or it will embrace you. It will cut you or it will excite you. It's just literally that raw passion, and it's reminiscent to me of Plutonian energy, but specifically divine feminine. So this is what we get. We get this separation. This is the separation that occurred during this cosmic trauma. There's this beautiful love and light spiritual energy, but then there's also this painful separation, loss, grief, fractalization, when we actually have to walk this line right here in the middle. And when we have to say, I don't know, and I don't care. Because if we can manifest or express and refine both of these energies, the divine feminine and the sacred masculine, if we can allow the expression of the Black Moon Lilith and asteroid Lilith, and also embrace the Saturnian masculine energies, we can literally be magicians. This is a sort of a post techno society where we incorporate technology into our magic, harmonized with the energies of creation, of the energies of change and transformation. So you can see the difference here. This is a group of men and women. This is technology and nature. And this is what the realization or the allowing of that untamed, suppressed, wild feminine energy to come up without judgment, without fear that you'll be abandoned or broken because of it. For asteroid Lilith, she speaks to our instincts. She's got a pretty steady elliptical orbit that precesses in a regular fashion, and I feel like her energy will speak to us through our physical instincts. So when let's say you've got Lilith asteroid in Virgo. Virgo is about the gut. And so when you are going against your true basic foundational creative spirit, which is basically the suppressed, Black Moon Lilith energy, when you're going against it, you're going to get a hit in your gut. You're going to feel it in your gut. You're also going to know when you're doing a good thing because you're going to feel that in your gut too. If you are someone who perhaps has it in Libra, has asteroid Lilith in Libra, you're going to maybe have back pain, kidney pain, ovary problems. So a lot of people have been confirming this for me with my readings when I read their Lilith asteroid. So I do this in my chart readings. I don't usually bring it up for collective readings, but we can certainly look at that today. So if you look at the astrological, this is called a homunculus. If you look at it, you can see where the signs, what body parts are related to it. So like a black moon Lilith in Cancer would be breast and lungs. A black moon Lilith in Aries would be head pain, head tinglings. A black moon Lilith in Taurus would be you get hits in your throat, you get choked up or something like that. So feet problems if it's in Pisces. So you can look at where we'll look at a chart, and I'll show you what the glyphs are for the black moon Lilith and asteroid Lilith, and you can also look in your chart. So let's see. Yep, that's all I got for the presentation part of it. So I hope that answered the question about how I feel about black moon Lilith and asteroid Lilith. What do you guys think? Anybody know where their Liliths are? I have black moon Lilith in Capricorn, and I have my asteroid Lilith in Gemini. So I swear I do get neck, shoulder, and arm pain and numbness all the time. Like whenever I'm stressed out, I'll wake up in the morning and all this will be locked up. It's crazy. So I can tell there's something, like she's trying to tell me something when I have a physical feeling. She's saying, oh, you need to pay attention. You're blocking something. So yeah, and then the black moon Lilith in Capricorn, it is, I feel like for me, it has to do with my achievements, my passions. I am, when I get a hit of something that feels good that I want to do, I go for it. And I know that it's the right thing to do because I feel physically excited about doing it. And it's not sexual excitement. It's just like my heart races and my belly gets warm and I feel really good. It's almost as if something supernatural is moving through me. So let's see. Infinite Faith says, I have Lilith rising with Jupiter in Taurus, 22 degrees, and I have thyroid disease. Interesting. So, Infinite Faith, you may be suppressing your black moon Lilith, wherever she is. There may be something that needs to come out and be set free. And that might, I'm not saying it will, obviously I can't give medical advice with astrology, but I guess I could give medical advice because I'm a doctor, but they tell you not to do that on YouTube. So, it may be related to that. Ashki Bauer says Lilith in Sagittarius and then black moons in Gemini. So yeah, an asteroid in Sagittarius would be the big muscles of your legs. You might get leg cramps. You might get hip pain. You might feel some sciatica when you're suppressing your black moon Lilith. And then the black moon in Gemini is a passion about information, about right here and right now. So yeah, that's Lilith. Let's see. I wanted to show you guys the chart. Also, I will share my screen. I just want to get there first because I want to show you the tricks so you can amaze your family and friends. Because this week is a holiday for us in the United States. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We are actually having our turkey dinner tonight because I work tomorrow. So we can't have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, but that's okay. We don't mind. My husband got a 21-pound bird for 5 of us, so we'll have some leftovers. It should be pretty good. He's just so wonderful. My husband was a trained chef, or I guess he still is. So it's his passion, to make wonderful food for me. Like he loves doing that. And but the thing is if you've ever been around a trained chef, their kitchen is like you just don't go near it. Because they get very territorial about it. It's one of those things. It's like you could get upset and take it personal if the chef is yelling at you and kicking you out of the kitchen, Or you could just be thankful that you're getting this amazing meal. And then when the food comes out, you kind of let that roll off your back. And then you give the cook a kiss on his cheek and a back scratch, and everybody's happy because we have good food and we have a wonderful time. So, all right, I have this chart up. Let's go ahead and learn about how to amaze your friends. Let me share my entire screen. Don't forget to get your free chart if you want to play along. Oh, and also for those of you who are tropical, for you, this new moon is going to be in 9 degrees of Sagittarius. It's the same spot in the sky. Actually 8 degrees of Sagittarius, because Antares is 7 degrees. So we're right on Antares at 7 degrees in constellation Scorpio, sign Sagittarius. But we're going to, from here on out, look at these charts, which are accurate to the actual sky. Okay, guys, here's how it works. So look at your chart, find your ascendant sign, and then you're going to use the following keys and codes, okay? So if you have Leo on your ascendant, then the new moon is in your 4th house, okay? Leo ascendant, new moon is in your 4th house. Do you see that? Because we have Scorpio, 7 degrees of Antares right here. It's all right here. You have a cardinal angle, basically, if you have Leo rising. Now, this is an approximation, guys, because these constellations are all different sizes. And so if you're in the first 3 or the last 3 of a degrees in your actual ascendant, it may be off, but you're basically going to be within this realm. Okay. And so what does that mean? So, okay, somebody comes to you, they say, oh man, this new moon's driving me crazy. And you say, okay, well, what's your rising sign? And they're like, Leo. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's in your 3rd and 4th house. So these energies of this new moon, you're going to have to focus in your 3rd and 4th house. So what's 3rd and 4th house? It's learning, it's short trips, it's siblings, it's home. Okay. So if you've got a sun and moon down here in Antares right now, and you have a Leo rising, then you're going to have in your 3rd and 4th house this new moon. So the focus of this lunation from this new moon to the next new moon will be 3rd house focused. So you're basically going to go through the whole hero's journey with a focus on your 3rd and 4th house, which is local trips, home and family, siblings, probably getting at some deep, dark energies, maybe a lot of healing around that. Maybe some secrets are going to come out around the family. Okay, so that's how you can read that. Let me see what you guys are doing with your ascendants. Let's see. Who's got an ascendant? Give me your ascendants. Ochki said, yes, Virgo pisses. I don't know if that's, let's see. Oh, Desiree's here. Hey, Des. Thanks for coming. Hi, Rain ZZZ. Hi, Dr. Dani. Just able to join. Wanted to say thank you so much for the natal chart reading. It was spot on and so helpful. Oh, Heather, hey. I must know more about Black Moon Lilith with a follow-up call. Yes. Okay, Desiree has Virgo on her ascendant. So let's do this. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes because this chart represents the exact moment of the new moon. But we're going to move this so that Virgo is on the ascendant. And I want you to see where the sun, moon, Mercury moved to so we can read the houses for Desiree. I have to grab the other chart, though, because this won't let me do it. So let me grab the transit chart, chart options, view chart. All right, let's animate. Let's go forward to the new moon. Let's go by hours and let's put Virgo on the ascendant. Okay. All right, we'll go right in the middle of Virgo. So, all right, does anybody want to guess what house this is going to be in for Desiree? I can see it already. It's 2nd house. Okay, so Desiree, this new moon, this whole lunation for you from the full moon back to the next new moon is going to be second house focused. And second house is your things, it's your stuff, it's your money, it's what you care about. So you're reevaluating what you care about this month. You're deciding what it is you want to keep, what it is you want to get rid of. Scorpio energy is perfect for doing that because it's like the spiritual surgeon, right? So you can literally cut that out of your life if you need to. And then with Mercury there too, like you probably need to be doing some readings. So hopefully you're getting some clients and getting some readings because your channel should be very strong right now. Plus, I think if I remember, you're also a retrograde Mercury in your natal chart. So second house for Desiree. Let's move around the wheel. So you can see how as the ascendant sign changes, so too does the house of the sun moon combination. So let's see, anybody else? Let's see. Oh, we've got everybody here. Let's see. Let's go back to Cancer. So whoever has Cancer rising also has Mars right on their ascendant. So Mars is about to enter your first house and you're about to take some action. But Sun and Moon are now in your fifth house and they're trying to your ascendant and to Mars. So this is very nice energy. This is kind of returning to an innocent state, like shedding everything that is useless, unusable, not worth your time, and going back to an innocent, playful, fun, romantic state. That's what this particular cycle is going to be about for you. Taking action in a compassionate way and identifying with yourself as who you are with those actions. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We've got a Taurus ascendant. So let's go back. Are you seeing how this is moving? Give me a thumbs up if you're seeing how this is working. So right now we've got Taurus. This person has, this is my ascendant too. So we have Jupiter on our ascendant right now, which is wonderful. It's a very nice feeling, expanding, optimism, faith in yourself, all that good stuff. But it's opposing. So this is a grounded faith too, because Taurus is earthy energy. And when we're opposing the sun and the moon like this in deep, watery, healing Scorpio, this is a balance between the spiritual and the practical, the other selves and ourself, really fully integrating the energy of the other to heal us in a practical way. So this lunation for you is going to be about healing the relationship in a practical and spiritual way. All right, let's see. Who else do we have? We have an Ophiuchus ascendant. Oh boy, that's deep. So right here, now Ophiuchus, Sun, Moon are going to be in your 12th house because Ophiuchus is rising. So a very spiritual time for you. You're going to be in an energy where you're not going to feel like being around a lot of people. At least not yet, not until Mercury is out of retrograde and the sun has moved into Sagittarius. This is just a time where you need to go in and reflect with the inner self, connect to the higher self, because it really is going to evolve and develop you through this next lunation. And things will come clear and start being more synchronous to you once you get to the full moon. And it'll come about more practically for you because this next full moon is going to be in Taurus, I believe. So as you're moving through that very, very spiritual, very watery realm right there, a lot of healing is going to take place. You're going to see those manifestations by the time the moon is full. Let's see who else. Planetary Intelligence says, hi, Dr. Dani. Thank you for your insights and guiding me to true sky sidereal. Of course. I love this. This is the stuff. This is the medicine in the sky for us. Let's see. I've got a Sagittarius and a Capricorn. Okay, let's see. So let's go to Sagittarius. So now this might put the sun moon in the 11th, 12th house. And so 11th house is going to be like friends, groups, soul tribe, innovations, inspirations. A lot of times when we're progressing through the zodiac counterclockwise, this inspiration, innovation is followed by a time of solitude, typically because all the ideas that have come through, you need to go within and work on those ideas and pull them together. So this may be a winding down phase for you to sort of put everything in place so that you can spend that next sort of Sagittarius new moon in a place where you can connect with spirit. And so it's preparing for a lunation of solitude. I don't think you'll be quite there yet, but sort of kind of winding the year down. And I think that fits perfectly for someone with a Sagittarius. So you can say 11th and 12th house. All right, so you can see how it moves around. Let's see if there's anybody else I'm missing here. Capricorn. Let's go a little bit more forward. Okay. So Capricorn ascendant, you're going to have the sun moon in your 10th house probably. So probably late 10th house, early 10th house. This is getting your work out there. This is a deep, authentic representation and presentation of who you are at the core to the public at large, the soul tribe that you're engaged in. So this could be a cycle for you where there's a coming out of sorts, where you're seen in front of the public eye. So that could be pretty interesting. All right, let's see. Planetary intelligence is interesting. Thank you. My Chiron is in Taurus. Yeah, that's the wounds of self-worth. That's the wounds of self-love. So please put the link to get your chart down in the description box. Let me put it on the screen real quick. Actually, I can put it in there. Let me see. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I'll do it over here since we're jumping off the chart. Let's see. So it's dani.com/free chart. So that will link you to the calculator on my website, which is powered by Mastering the Zodiac. So I thank him for allowing me the use of that code. But yeah, you can just put in any details you want, and it will generate a chart true to the actual sky for you. So let's see. Anybody else? We have a Pisces. Let's go to Pisces. All right. So with Pisces rising, this sun moon's going to be in the 8th house for you. Whew. So an 8th house, Ophiuchus, Scorpio energy with the moon and sun there. Like every time there's a new moon in your 8th house, and this happens once a year, this is the beginning of your overall moon evolutionary cycle for the year of these lunations. This is where it starts and begins. This is where it starts and ends. Okay. So something is ending and something is beginning for you here. And when you have next month's new moon in your 9th house connected with Sagittarius, this is going to be very, very nice. This will be like, okay, you're going to feel free. You're going to feel like things have just been sloughed off and you're like a brand new baby phoenix kind of energy. So I like that for Pisces. Okay. Infinite Faith asks, how do I know my true sky AC? I am tropical 11 degrees Taurus. Okay, so I'm assuming that your ascendant is 11 degrees Taurus. Let's just move this wheel around and we'll see what that looks like. Oh, 11 degrees. Okay, let me grab my spreadsheet. Julie Sherwood made this. She's one of my colleagues. She's on the Fellowship of 13 Signs with us. So let's see, 11 degrees of Taurus. That means your ascendant is Aries. So that's cool because I don't think I've covered an Aries moon for this one or an Aries ascendant. So let's put Aries right there. Look, it's already there. Isn't that cool? All right. All right. So Aries on the ascendant puts the moon and sun in the 7th house, 7th, 8th house energy. So there's romantic partnership energy, a transformation through this. This is the sort of where John Doe was this month, you will be next month. Okay, so this is sort of the end of the ending phase for you. So you may have a relationship change this month. The parameters of your relationship may change. The boundaries of your relationships may change. And it's about what comes through in the etheric versus, how you're grounding that in the physical also. And to have Aries ascendant means Mars is your chart ruler, and Mars is trying to sun and moon for this new moon. So, John, I saw your video. I watched it, and I put a nice comment in it. So I enjoyed that. I listened to it about 3 times just so I could get it. So thank you for sharing that with me. That was pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So I think we did everything. We didn't do a Gemini rising. Let's do that. Or a Libra rising. Let's do those guys. So if Gemini's rising, then we have a 5th and 6th house sun moon. So let's put in 6th house because we did a 5th house one right here when we did Cancer rising. 6th house is your house of health and house of service. So if you have Gemini rising, then this may be a health cycle for you. There may be something physical that you have to pay attention to that will last for the entire month, swell in Taurus, and then resolve as the month goes this way. It could also be commenting on your service. So how you serve, who you serve, what you serve, the 3 points of your career, which is 2nd, 6th, and 10th house. So 2nd house is how you earn money. 10th is what you do. And the 6th house is kind of how you do it and how you work. So this might be a cycle focused around what you're doing in service as far as servitude. So I definitely feel like this being trying to Chiron, there may be some healing around that too. So it just depends. It just depends on what house. So let's see. I have Taurus rising, so it's for me over here in my 7th house. So I'm having the relationship stuff. Let's see. We left out Libra and Aquarius. Let's go back and see about Aquarius rising. So that's going to put it right straight in midheaven. So anyone with Aquarius rising and Saturn on the ascendant, this is serious energy. You need to spend this month focusing on your career and on your work. And then finally, Libra. Let's go back to Libra. So if Libra is on your ascendant, then the moon and sun are in your 1st house. So this cycle's about you. Okay, so you basically take the flavor of each of the houses, and depending on what sign is rising, you can counsel that person on what they need to focus on for this lunar cycle. And if you know that for yourself, then it's super helpful too. So hopefully that was helpful to those of you watching. I know we kind of went all over the place with that, but just to review briefly for those of you that are sort of new to astrology and maybe don't even know what I just did, whatever house the sun and moon are in, that's the focus with the themes that we've been discussing of sun and moon. So if this is occurring in your 1st house, it's about you. And the way that you can tell what house this is by asking what's on someone's ascendant. So if we move over to the 2nd house and we put the sun moon there, you got Virgo rising. This is about what you have, what you value. 3rd house, it's how you learn, how you interact, your subconscious programming, what you're learning, what you're teaching. 4th house is about home, roots, ancestors. 5th house is about innocence, love, joy, romance. 6th house is service and work. 7th house is partnerships, marriage. 8th house is about transformation, change. 9th house is about higher wisdom and learning. And then 10th house is your career. 11th house is your groups, inspirations, innovations. And then the 12th house is your subconscious and your solitude. So that's basically what we did. And we did that by identifying, we knew what house it was in by identifying which constellation appeared at the horizon. So you can go back and listen to that and brush up on those skills. But, the idea is that once you've got those, the orientation of the chart in your mind, then you can see someone's chart when they give you information. So, all right. So what else are you guys thinking about? Josh in 2040 is from Australia. Hello. Hello. Thanks for joining. You guys are good? You guys understood all that? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't actually show you Lilith and Black Moon Lilith on that chart, if y'all want to see it. We can think about that. But otherwise, we've learned some secrets today. Secrets have been revealed, right? I don't know and I don't care. We have 33 in the chat. Perfect. Let's see. We looked at Black Moon Lilith and Asteroid Lilith, and if you clicked on the video, you get the treat of learning that. But if you pass the video by, you will never know that you get to learn about Lilith. So we have that secret revealed. And then we also learned a little trick to help people with their energy through this lunar cycle. So yeah, let's look at Black Moon Lilith and Lilith in the chart and see what they look like. Let's do that. We'll go to today. No. Okay. All right. So if you see my cursor up here, right at the galactic center is asteroid Lilith. So there she is, the instinctual hit. So Scorpio and Ophiuchus are related to the two ends of our Kundalini. So basically like the nose, the tonsils, the upper part of the mouth is Scorpio energy. They normally in medical astrology associate Scorpio with the genitals and the ovaries and the testes, but I feel like we can also give Ophiuchus those spaces because the energy of Scorpio and Ophiuchus is up and down. It's not side to side like the other constellations. It reminds me of a flowing upward Kundalini channel of two snakes, two constellations. So this hit is going to come through that channel. So maybe you're sneezing a lot. Maybe you've got tingles down there. You're going to feel an intuitive hit from this Black Moon Lilith if you've got a Black Moon Lilith conjunct the galactic center. Now, she's also conjunct Mercury, retrograde, in Ophiuchus, the channeler of the ascended masters. And so this is really nice. So some of these intuitive hits you're getting from Lilith may actually come with words or whispers associated with them if you're tapped into the Mercury energy. And then Black Moon Lilith is over here in Virgo. So this is a whole other sort of talk, this energy of this suppressed, untamed, wild feminine energy in the constellation of Virgo, the birthing mother sky goddess. This almost, you guys, literally reminds me of this. Like this is Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. Because Virgo is one of the most suppressed areas of divine feminine. It's had a traditional rulership of Mercury, which is so wrong. Mercury's got no creative spirit. He's literally just there to assign it a value and sell it to the highest bidder and make sure that the transaction's fair and equitable. And Virgo can't be sold. The divine feminine can't be sold or traded. It's literally the raw power of creation. And in Virgo, she's a little bit under-recognized. So there's this. This is bubbling up. This is where the anger is coming up in our collective right here. People are feeling trapped. People are feeling like they're not expressing themselves. So that's how I feel about that Virgo, Black Moon Lilith. Now, conjunct the South Node. Okay, so now you're bringing in all of the ancestral matriarchal trauma, like all of those feminine archetype wounds that have just been passed on generation after generation after generation. South Node Virgo is bringing that out too with the Black Moon Lilith. So this can be a very uncomfortable energy in Virgo. Like you feel like you're being judged for that energy being expressed. And so if it's something that is blocked, so basically, how do you know if your Black Moon Lilith is blocked? This is something that if you haven't had a Kundalini awakening, if you haven't allowed that energy to flow through the chakras, if that is suppressed in some way, then that Black Moon Lilith energy has no place to go. So it stays suppressed, and it can manifest as outbursts, as anger, as health problems, things like that. So yeah, this is a tough spot. But being at the North Node, it's comfortable here. This is what we've been dealing with. This is what we're working through as a collective. This is where the eclipses have been, the solar and the lunar eclipses, and we're about another month, and we'll be halfway through yet another Virgo Pisces eclipse cycle. And this next set of eclipses will be the last set in this Pisces Virgo axis. So we're making strides, we're making progress, we're getting through it. And really part of the process is just recognizing that suppressed energies there, like recognizing that you have a powerful creative force within you that may be suppressed and that you may be so ashamed to like let out that you don't. And that suppression can ultimately cause you dis-ease. So so that's Lilith in a nutshell for this particular chart. All right, cool, guys. So yeah, if you want a reading, go ahead and check out my website and use thank you 13. You'll get 13% off all of my readings. So anything you want there is 13% off. We're going to do that till the end of December, around the 22nd. So what are you guys saying over here? Let's see. Beth says, I see Virgo as Persephone as she goes to join Hades in the underworld as his will, not hers. Well, you have to remember, too, she did make a choice. She did make a bargain. So actually, I think her mother made the bargain. So again, it's sort of that mother karma coming into the life of her children. But I can see that, too. Josh in 24 says, awesome design on that pic. I actually just told ChatGPT what to do, and it created that picture for me. So, but when it came up, I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So Heather says, I had my Kundalini awakening just over 2 years ago. Life has been significantly changed for me since then. Yes. I think Black Moon Lilith is the key to that. And Josh in 2040 says, I'm in a situation where I have to bite my tongue until January 8th, definitely feeling like my expression is currently suppressed. Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to, if you can't say something, you feel it. Like you feel so blocked. And then your perceptions, your awareness, the way you perceive other people and what they do for you, what they do to you and for you and against you is completely skewed. It's crazy. So, yeah. Cool, guys. Well, Saturday, I hope you can join me. It'll probably be around lunchtime. I want to go into the wounded healer's journey through the zodiac. And then next week, oh my gosh, big things are coming. I'm so excited, you guys. So I want you all to have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey, of each other's journey, of supporting me and each other through our own cosmic awakening into the true nature of ourselves. Be grateful, be thankful. And most of all, if something comes at you, just say, I don't know. I don't care. I'm good. And until Saturday, I'll see y'all later. Namaste.